Hi there, it's John from Commercial Real Estate Online. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the video show. This is where I like to share tips, tools and ideas with commercial real estate agents all around the world. Now, the audience for the program is large, so make sure you sign up while you're here, and I'll give you plenty of ideas when it comes to sales, leasing and property management across office, industrial and retail. Now, the website for us is commercial-real-estate-training.com. Now, in today's program, I'm going to focus down into the ideas that you should cover when it comes to listing a property with a client, so that you cover particular questions, strategies, ideas, so that you can sound better than the competition that could be pitching for the same listing. So you will need a notebook for this. I will stop from time to time and show you where you can get more information about the particular topic. And of course, you can make your own notes from this as you go. So let's get into the program. It's all about pitching for a listing, asking the questions, helping the client see that you are the best solution as an agent for their property in their location. Let's get on with the program. So this is the matrix where I cover the client connection issues. Questions you can ask when it comes to working with the client with their sale requirement, or perhaps leasing, whatever it is. So let's presume it's a sales scenario and take you through key questions and what you can ask. So you can see from the matrix here that there are 7 particular strategies, number 1 through to number 7. So you've got to cover off on these issues with the meeting with the client to make sure you've got your bases understood and that you're asking deeper questions that the client cannot ignore. And of course, the questions that you need answered when it comes to that property in that location, given the market circumstances today. So let's get this started and see how we can help you with your ideas in a listing presentation. So in going up here to number 1, understanding the client's objectives. So there are 3 things to think about. That is their motivation for selling, timeline expectations, and desired price and market realities. Now, the property market today in your location for the property type will have certain realities, and you have to work with that. Conversing through the market realities will help the client see that you are the best solution for them with where they need to take the property when it comes to selling it. Understand this, the client wants an easy, direct, beneficial result. So your whole listing presentation should focus on the best result in a simple way where you take over all the difficulties and you provide a timeline and a chart and a series of solutions that you can take the client through. They have to feel and see that you are the best solution. So starting here, understanding the client's objectives and these 3 subsets. I would recommend that you ask these questions in each group. The motivation for selling, you've got to understand that from the start. Discuss why the client wants to sell. Are they seeking capital for another investment? That would be good to know. Looking to exit the market, or are they experiencing financial pressure? So what is the reason for the sale? Dig down into that. Get to the real facts of that event. When you've done that, you can ask the next question, which is about timelines. And you'd say something like, Mr. Client, given what you are thinking about doing with that property today, what are your timeline expectations? How do you need to get a result? What is the timeline that you want and need? So establish if the client is looking for a quick sale or is willing to wait for the best offer. Now, of course, some clients are totally unrealistic. I've had a few of those over my years, and you will also have a few that are like that as well. So establish if the client is looking for that quick sale or if they're really hanging out for the best result. If they're hanging out for the best result, then you've got to say, well, is that a realistic offer? Is that really what you can get? Or should you just simply say, Mr. Client, you're not going to get that price in today's market, and then give them a chance to accept your terms and conditions or walk away from the listing. That's another alternative. So that leads us to this question here, the desired sale price and market realities. Compare the client's price expectations with current market trends and data. Now, you can expect that the client will be talking to other agents. Happens all the time. Some other agents will give the client unrealistic expectations simply to win the listing. So you've got to have a method through that, to battle through that with real market conditions, real evidence to prove that your ideas are the right ideas. So I'll talk more about that in a moment, but there's your questions. The motivation for selling, timeline expectations, desired sale price, and market realities. So when you've asked those questions, you can then move on to the next set of facts and details. That is the property details and the condition of the property. So you'd be looking at these things: the building structure and features, maintenance history, tenancy and lease agreements. Now, of course, these things here will support the income stream. And if it's an investment property, you have to know what the income stream is doing and how potentially stable it is for the future. So let's look at these. Building structure and features. Review the building's age, the construction materials, and any unique architectural features. That will be for the building itself, office, industrial or warehouse, and you would then need to understand what's there, the condition of that, and whether there are any orders or notices on the property which could interfere with the sales activity. You've got to sell something that is legally able to be sold, not something that has building orders and notices which need to be resolved before the sale occurs. So the question after that will be this: the maintenance history. Investigate the upkeep of the property, recent repairs, and ongoing maintenance. So is the property well cared for? Does it present well? Because the buyers of that property are going to see it when they walk through it. They'll form an opinion pretty quickly. Once you've done that, you can then talk about lease and tenancy agreements. Discuss the current tenants, lease terms, and how tenant profiles could impact buyer interest. Because the buyers are going to go through those documents very deeply. So you've got to do that yourself to make sure that you know that the tenancy mix is stable and or what are the weaknesses. You need to know that as well. And then, of course, work with that in the sale preparation. You may need to solve some vacancies. You may need to get some new leases in place. You may need to help the tenant, or the landlord rather, remove a tenant that could be disruptive. Because the buyers will check that out. The buyers will know if that is good, bad or indifferent. And of course, they're not going to buy a property that has difficulties with the income stream, the lease documents, the tenancy mix. So those questions there are important as well. Which leads me to the next question, which will be financial performance and investment potential. So then you get down into these things, and they're all financial in various ways and forms. So given the previous two headings, you get down into this, and then you have these three things to ask questions about. And by the way, as you ask questions, you always make plenty of notes, because your notes will need to support you later if indeed there's a problem, a disagreement, a disruption, or something simply goes wrong. And that happens in real estate. So the rental income and the occupancy rates. That will involve the lease documents, provide a detailed analysis of the rental income, the vacancies, and the potential for rent increases. And you may need to provide copies of supporting tenancy schedules, tenancy agreements, the current income received, the lease expiry dates, the lease commencement dates, the option situations, the way in which the tenancies are used. So that there is something that's quite big, and you will need to make your notes from that. So once you've done it, you go here. The operating expenses. That's breaking down the operating expenses for the property. That's rates and taxes. Utilities, as in water, gas, sewerage, electricity. Management fees, maintenance costs. I could add another one in there, which would be capital repairs, capital investment repairs, which would be bigger than maintenance as such. It could be painting the entire building on the outside. It could be the repair of the air conditioning unit in the building, which is a capital item and not a repair item. So that's your operating expenses. And then next, you have to do a cap rate and return on investment analysis, which would be to calculate the present financial performance metrics to potential buyers. So a buyer is going to pay a particular amount of money for the property, given its elements, its attributes. And from that money, you can compare the money they're prepared to pay against the passing income stream for the property. The passing income stream will then give you a ratio, which is the yield, the cap rate. Now, buyers want to pay the lower price that they can to get the price, the best price for the property that they want to buy. And of course, the sellers want the highest price. So the yield is impacted by the price paid. So you need to look at the cap rate based on market trends for the property type. Will the property be, let's say, selling at cap rates in the order of 5% or 6%, 7%, 8%, whatever it is? If the property is good, the yield or cap rate will be low. That says that the yield or cap rate will be relatively low because a high price will be paid for the property. This says that the buyers really want the property and they're prepared to pay a high price against the passing income stream. So the passing income stream is paid for by the tenants, and that will be driven from the lease agreements, the leasing arrangements, the market inquiry, the supply and demand. So in that little calculation here and all these particular things, you'll know about the financial performance and the investment potential for the property. You'll know whether the price is too high, too low, in line with market, what a buyer is going to think about the price, that sort of thing. So I hope you've written those down, as well as these things. There they are there for you, as well as these things. So these, let's say, three main elements go into three subsets, where you're going to get a lot of information about the property before you move into potentially making a decision whether you want to get involved in the marketing of it or even list it. So if the property is for you and you're going to list it as an agent, check out these articles. Let's go here first. Go to my website, which is commercial-realestate-training.com, and check out this article. That's the name of it. Go there and you can then read through the article and print this off, because this will help you gather information, particularly these questions that you would put to the investors regards their sale requirement or potential. Okay, so let's go back here. Now let's look at this next particular article that I've got here for you. Property details and conditions. So this particular article at the website is called Systems for Dealing with Property Inspections and Appraisals and Facts. Copy that down, go to the website, get to the article and then print it off. Now this particular article will help you with all of the things to check out when it comes to the particular property for potentially selling and marketing. So how to organise your property detail, here it is here. There's a number of different things I want you to do, and of course you can use these 9 different strategies to make sure you're covering off on the listing very well. Let's go back to the next particular article that I've mentioned for you. This one here, Financial Performance and Investment Potential. Now this article will help you regards that, and there is a mind map here. It's an industrial mind map, so you can get a copy of it from the website. All of the things here will help you investigate an industrial property for potential sale. Now, there is a download at the website for that, so you can download the whole chart there. And of course, there are many different things for you to look at: building location, layout, property condition report, etc. And it goes into many other things here for you. So that's this particular topic as well. So let's go back to the mind map. So I've given you 3 topics from this overall mind map, and tomorrow I'll go into the next parts of the chart and take you into market position and competition, as well as marketing strategy, legal and compliance considerations, and a negotiation process in terms of sale. So today was these 3 things for you. And whilst you're at the website, if you want this particular chart in its finished form, by all means join the community online at the website, because I send the chart out to the community online via email, and that's how you'll get a copy of it, in PDF form, of course. So tomorrow we'll go into number 4, number 5, 6 and 7, and that will be the chart for you with the subsets of ideas in each particular section. Today we did number 1, number 2 and number 3. So the next part will probably be a bit longer, maybe even 20 minutes longer, I'm not sure, but you'll have all the elements there to use when you're connecting with a client when pitching for a listing. So thanks for listening to the program today. I'll finish on this particular article for you. Make sure you get a copy of this from the website, How to Pitch and Present a Commercial Real Estate Listing Like a Pro. And there is a full slide deck here for you to download. There it is there. Download it as a PDF and use it. It's going to help you with your listing presentations in all locations with all property types. So that's it for now. This is John from Commercial Real Estate Online. As I said, the website, commercial-realestate-training.com. I'll see you there when it comes to sales, leasing and property management. Thanks for listening.